We're now seeing the launch of new federal rules that will govern the energy efficiency of lighting systems, ending the sale and manufacture of incandescent light bulbs. Yes, this is news not only of the new standards, but also there were still incandescent light bulbs being produced. Here's a video explaining the change.
The Biden administration has banned incandescent light bulbs, and Republicans are pissed. The rule officially just increases the minimum efficiency standard of light bulbs. In practice, that means businesses can no longer sell inefficient incandescent bulbs and must begin selling LEDs instead, though there are a few exemptions like weird-sized bulbs and bug lamps. While they are more expensive upfront, LED lights use up to 90% less energy and last up to 25 times longer than typical incandescent bulbs. The Department of Energy is expecting consumers to save almost $3 billion every year by making the switch. It's the final step in a push to make household appliances more energy efficient, which began with President George W. Bush in 2007. President Barack Obama tightened those regulations even further, though they were eventually undone by President Donald Trump, who reportedly said energy-efficient bulbs made him look orange. The new rule, similar to the made-up narrative that President Joe Biden was banning gas stoves, has pissed off Republicans, who are tweeting dramatic things about their rights to buy light bulbs.
It's a great video by Now This. I love that they threw in the comment about that's what makes him orange. That's true. You can tell, by the way, how common they are because I guess they're everywhere if that's the case. Anyway, the new standards set for light bulbs mean that you have to reach a certain level of efficiency. It's not that they're specifically saying incandescents, you're bad. It's just that they can't reach the efficiency standards. In case any conservatives are watching, the government establishing efficiency standards is not being started today. That's actually a thing that's been around for decades under both Democratic and Republican presidents and governments, as they pointed out with Now This. The rules, of course, do not affect the bulbs that you already own. They're not going to be searching your house for the bulbs, and I have no doubt that the 5 will be saying that today. There's also a special exemption for some incandescents, like for instance, inside of ovens. So there are some places where they will remain, but you also won't be able to import them from outside of the country. Bear in mind, as they pointed out, only about 5% of the energy in an incandescent bulb produces light. The rest is heat. And as you know, they burn out way, way, way faster than LED bulbs. You have to replace them, wasting money not only with the energy that you use, but wasting money when you have to replace them. This is how technology works. Sometimes it takes too long, but eventually we replace inferior products with better ones. And the way our society works is that when that happens, conservatives lose their mind about it so they can gain some sort of political advantage. So anyway, that'll be coming up next. But Sabrina, what do you think? Are you terrified about this change?
I cannot express enough that it is still legal to own and use these light bulbs if you still have them. I mean, if they haven't burned out by now. Because I think I did see that like people like on Twitter, like, oh no, they're gonna come into our homes, they're gonna take our light bulbs, they're gonna take our gas stoves, which is absolutely not going to happen. Like, don't worry. And I am confused, like why would they not want the more efficient product that lasts longer, that saves you money? I think maybe just because like Biden happens to be president right now and that's why they're freaking out, even though it was a Republican president that kind of initiated this change. Yeah, people are just being silly.
Well, look, it's gonna save a lot. $3 billion, they estimate it'll be saved to consumers on their energy bills. Energy bills are really high. People want them to be lower, right? This would seem to be a good thing. It also puts far less carbon in the air. I apologize if you're conservative, don't go. I know that you want more carbon in the air, but sorry, you're gonna save money, but we will pollute less, unfortunately. It's all so ridiculous. The thing about it that bothers me is we are continually reminded by the right that we cannot expect anything big to be done to stop climate change. So like everyone stopping eating meat, which would be great for the environment. It can't happen. It's too big. Don't ask us to do big things. Okay, can we ask you to do something like super small, like change your light bulb? No, you can't do that either. I'm not gonna get rid of my car. I'm not gonna get rid of my light bulb. Don't ask me to do literally anything. I don't wanna live in a society. I wanna be selfish and waste money on producing heat in my house from light bulbs that should have been replaced decades ago. It's just so pointless. We're supposed to be the most advanced society in the world, and we have to convince people to use the clearly better technology. But anyway, as we said, right-wingers not happy about the new energy efficiency standards. Take a look at Donald Trump here.
The light bulb. People said, what's with the light bulb? I said, here's the story. And I looked at it. The bulb that we're being forced to use, number one, to me, most importantly, the light's no good. I always look orange. And so do you. The light is the worst. But number two, it's many times more expensive than that old incandescent bulb that worked very well.
It did not. They were actually designed to burn out in the way that they always have. Everyone knows that. It is way cheaper to use these new advanced bulbs. He is simply lying to his audience, and they don't care. They're not going to hear any of these facts. They're not going to understand any of this because they're going to be terrified that something is being taken away from them. Not something serious like bodily autonomy, but something stupid like outdated technology. Joey Manarino says, today they're taking away your incandescent light bulbs. Tomorrow they take away your gas stove. No, they don't. They're taking away everything they can so they can ultimately take our guns. As everyone knows, the government would love to just take your guns right now, but if they were to bust into your house, they'd be too visible with the current light. So they need to darken a bit with the LEDs before they can take your guns. This is a plot that makes total sense. And once they take our guns, they'll take us off to FEMA camps to re-educate us from our backwards conservative views. Never stop fighting every last thing. You know, like fighting reason and the linear flow of time and the advanced society we live in, and all of that stuff. The feeling in your gut that all of this is dumb as hell. Never stop fighting that. Anyway, Sabrina, what do you think? It's a convincing argument from old Joey.
That tweet was so good. I love how it was such a jump from light bulbs to FEMA camps.
That's a slippery slope right there. A slippery, dark slope.
It is indeed a slippery slope, but I love how Donald Trump blamed the light bulbs on him being orange. Like, okay, but you're the only one who's turning orange, supposedly, as a result of these light bulbs. Like, if that's really such an issue, just adjust the camera warmth. Like, that's all you gotta do. But no, instead he has to prop up these inefficient old light bulbs. It's just such a funny. It's so funny.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous even just in the replies, because someone replied to him, who the F still uses incandescent light bulbs? And he says, people who don't want cancer. And this model replies with that, and I just think that's hilarious. Who says Twitter can't still be fun? But anyway, here's a fun challenge. So I had never heard of Joey Manarino or whatever, but he's one of the many utterly indistinguishable right wingers who has a show or whatever. So he has a show, which means that he has a studio. If we were to go in that studio, what sort of bulbs do you think he's got and all those lights he uses to light his studio? Obviously, he's not using those advanced commie bulbs. He's using bulbs that burn out every day, and sometimes they just explode, showering with glass like a man. Anyway, he's not the only one. Mark Levin also whined a bunch. Mark Levin saying that Joe Biden's making the case that there's climate change because it's hot outside. Yeah, that's not. Don't do, like Mark Levin, you're 1,000 years old. Don't do the ignorant thing that like the Ben Shapiro's do and everything. You're an old person. You're supposed to understand the arguments that people are using. You don't have plausible deniability. Nobody is saying that we believe in climate change just because it's hot out there. But we can also point out that record-breaking heat waves are currently, like again, why would he care about any of this? He's not going to be around to experience much more of it. But we have to worry about future generations as well. So we're gonna try to do something by abiding with these efficiency standards and pushing for much more. Any final thoughts, Sabrina?
That's such a silly point, because we also believed in climate change when Texas was freezing over, when California was getting destroyed with all the rain. It's not necessarily a warmth thing. These guys are so silly. They're silly guys.
Before we move on, can I just point out to any conservatives, isn't it weird that nothing can ever improve for you? That anything that changes, obviously if it's replacing something else, well, how dare you replace that? Isn't it weird that like all these people working really hard every day, scientists and engineers and all the people who are working hard to progress our society, if they ever succeed, that's a terrible thing and it can't be allowed. No, we need to go back to the old broken busted stuff. That it's just what sort of way to live is this?
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.